certainly need the help of the dealer you bought the bike from. It's a 3-stage process. Firstly, you'll need to go to the vehicle testing centre with the dealer. Normally they would just put the bike in the back of a van and drive it there. It takes about an hour or so for the vehicle to go through the test process. All you need to do is take your proof of ownership and your passport, and the dealer will do everything else. After receiving the test certificate, you'll then need to register the bike.
For motor cars.
This step is probably the most difficult one. You'll go to the Government Services Centre of Beijing's Economic Technological Development Area. This is a bit of a challenge, but you'll need to go up the stairs to the 2nd floor. They'll take you to a computer room, but actually, if I'm honest, you don't need to go there. You just need to take a ticket at the first machine and wait in line. After that, go to the end of the hall where you'll see lots of desks. Go to the one which says General Services. You'll need to take the vehicle test certificate, your passport, your residence permit, and proof of ownership. I would allow at least a minimum of 1 hour here because the process is quite tricky and challenging, primarily because the staff don't normally deal with foreigners registering bikes in China, so it's a little bit of a new case for them to do. But the actual process is fairly simple. It's more of a challenge for the staff in terms of what to do on their computer system. After that, you'll then go on to stage 3. You'll need your passport, residence permit, proof of ownership, test certificate, and registration document. You'll need to take this to the Traffic Bureau headquarters,
So
essentially the traffic police. This is where you would have taken your motorbike driving test, in at least the computer tests. Again, it's a little bit of a challenge when you first go in, but they have a certain section only for foreigners. So avoid the main hall and walk all the way close to where the toilets are. Go past the toilets, and then there's a small room at the desk where there's English-speaking staff. These staff are really great and really helpful. Once you walk in, there'll be a guard at the door, and you'll have to take a ticket. And then essentially it's just a case of waiting in line until your number's called. Then just give all the documents to the desk for the registration plate. So you'll need your passport, residence permit, proof of ownership, the vehicle test certificate, the vehicle registration documents. Once they check all these, you'll then be given another number where you have to wait in line to go to the desk just next to them to get your registration plate. Once your number comes up, there's a machine which has about 100 different plates on, and then it randomly selects one for you. From there, you have the option to choose one of the 100 if you want a different one. And then they'll give you a temporary plate, and your actual plate will be shipped to you in 48 hours. Direct to the dealer, and then once it arrives, they'll call you, and they'll just fit everything for you. The paper plate literally is just a piece of paper, and they'll give you a pack of some nuts and bolts in summary, to attach it to the bike. Fairly simple process, but can be challenging due to language and lack of dealing with foreigners on a regular basis. But overall, I'd recommend you book at least a half day to do this. It may take 3 or 4 hours, and the distance between some of the buildings is 45 minutes. But a fairly easy process as long as you have all the paperwork and the dealer knows what they're doing.